In 2024, a new zombie horror film has hit the scene, and this time it's bringing a terrifying twist: zombie kangaroos in Florida. Yep, you heard that right. Anyone bitten by these undead hoppers turns into a horrifying zombie themselves. It all starts with two buddies wandering around at night, looking for a spot to take a leak. One of them hears strange noises nearby, but before they can figure out what's going on, then a flare. One of them bolts in panic. But let's be real. How could a human outrun a kangaroo, let alone a zombie one? Spoiler alert, they don't. Both end up as midnight snacks for the undead marsupials. The next morning, Schmitty heads out hunting with his loyal dog, ready for a day in the wild. But as he hears rustling ahead and moves to investigate, he realizes too late he's not alone. Trouble is already closing in. Meanwhile, Officer Maddie arrives at the scene of last night's grisly attack. The two guys? Let's just say there's barely anything left of them. Their bodies have been torn apart, with bite marks suggesting some kind of wild animal was responsible. But with no surveillance cameras nearby, the case is a dead end, for now. Maddie, determined to keep her perfect record as the town's top detective, ignores the coroner's insistence that it's the work of an animal. Instead, she follows her gut and pins the blame on a bald-headed local troublemaker named Ruben. Without much evidence, she throws him in jail, effectively preserving her reputation as the town's genius investigator. The townspeople? They're thrilled. Everyone feels safer knowing Maddie is on the case, and Maddie basks in their praise. But her celebration doesn't last long. With the culprit behind bars, people start feeling brave enough to venture out at night again. One evening, a young trainee goes jogging through the woods and hears a chilling sound. It's the zombie kangaroo, back on the prowl. Sensing danger, the trainee tries to escape, but the sound gets closer and closer. He's out of time. The next call Maddie gets isn't one she's ready for. It's the trainee's family. By the time Maddie arrives, it's already too late. The boy is dead, and the scene looks exactly like the first two victims. Maddie realizes her sixth sense might not be as reliable as she thought. Desperate for answers, she tracks down the only witness, Schmitty, and asks him what he knows. Through Schmitty, Maddie learns about a local hunting crew led by a guy named Dave. Coincidentally, Dave's sister recently asked Schmitty for help finding a job. Schmitty suggested LinkedIn because, well, why not? With no better leads, Maddie teams up with the hunters and heads into the woods. To cover more ground, the group decides to split up. Maddie's team is the first to stumble upon something. Near an old mining site, Schmitty hears a terrifying growl. Following the sound, they find a blood-soaked tent. Maddie cautiously moves closer to investigate and, sure enough, the person inside has been brutally mauled. Meanwhile, things get even weirder for the other team. They come across the carcass of a lion in the middle of a clearing. Its stomach has been completely hollowed out. The sight is chilling, and they can't help but wonder, what kind of creature could take down a lion like this? Whatever it is, it's definitely not something they're ready to face. As night falls, the group plans to head back, intending to continue their search tomorrow. But they don't realize that the zombie kangaroo has already set its sights on them. Taking advantage of the group's separation, the zombie kangaroo lunges at the man with the hat. By the time the others arrive, the man has already been half devoured, and his shotgun is practically useless against the creature. Before long, the remaining two are also added to the zombie kangaroo's feast. The only survivor, the bearded man, realizes the danger and sprints towards the pickup truck. He thinks he can outrun the zombie kangaroo with the vehicle's speed, but he seriously underestimates the creature. The zombie kangaroo catches up and flips the truck over. When Maddie and the others arrive, they find Dave's lifeless body, barely hanging on, and still have no idea what kind of monster they're dealing with. With half of their team lost, fear sets in. Just as they're trying to figure out their next move, the zombie kangaroo appears again, charging right at them. The three of them freeze in terror, covering their mouths in silence. They fight back desperately, and when the kangaroo shows signs of pain, they quickly start the truck. They could have just driven away at this point, but seeing that the creature doesn't react to the bullets, Maddie refuses to back down. Determined, she turns the truck around. aiming to hit the zombie kangaroo head-on. But this zombie kangaroo isn't just a mindless beast. It's a mutated predator with sharp instincts. As Maddie speeds toward it, ready to ram the creature with the truck, the kangaroo makes a quick, agile dodge, causing her to miss entirely and crash straight into a tree. Dazed but alive, the group quickly switches to Dave's truck. Just as they're trying to catch their breath, the zombie kangaroo charges at them again. Thankfully, Schmitty takes the wheel this time, managing to drive them out of danger. They head to the town's bar, hoping to rally the villagers for a united stand against the creature. After barricading the doors, they think they've bought themselves a moment of safety. But outside, an unsuspecting police officer patrols near the bar. Maddie and the group frantically scream for him to hide, but it's too late. Your eyes can't... In mere seconds, the zombie kangaroo pounces on him, tearing him to shreds. Before the group inside can process what just happened, the kangaroo launches a full-on assault on the bar. With no way out, they retreat to the basement, hoping to outlast the attack. But Natty refuses to hide. She's had enough and decides to take on the zombie kangaroo head-on. Schmitty, realizing he can't let her do it alone, reluctantly joins her for one final showdown. However, their efforts are in vain. The door, piled high with debris, doesn't hold up for long before the zombie kangaroo crashes through. Its milky, lifeless eyes lock onto them as it enters the room. In a panic, the two of them scramble behind the bar, desperately trying to stay silent, fearing that the muscular zombie kangaroo will give them a full-body massage with its vicious claws. In the nick of time, Schmitty pulls off a distraction tactic, successfully drawing the zombie kangaroo's attention. Sure enough, it follows the noise, giving Maddie a brief window of opportunity. She bursts out from behind the bar and unleashes a full barrage of bullets, emptying her entire magazine into the creature. Despite hitting every shot, the damage seems to have no effect. The zombie kangaroo's bulging eyes remain intense, and its body stays upright, seemingly invincible. Just as Maddie begins to gout herself, suddenly, an old lady shakes a bell, drawing the zombie kangaroo's focus. In that instant, Schmitty hands Maddie a sharp axe. Without hesitation, she takes it and swings, delivering a powerful blow that chops off the zombie kangaroo's head. The creature's body jerks violently before finally collapsing, motionless. However, the disaster is far from over. Those who had been killed by the zombie kangaroo begin to mutate,